Hello, it's Jonny Khatru, and today I'm going to be listening to the new Czarface and MF DOOM album, Super What. In this video, I'll be giving the album my very first listen and giving you my thoughts after each song. And then in a later video, I'll do a follow-up to give you my final thoughts and my rating. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up video. So this is of course the second collaboration between Czarface and MF DOOM. MF DOOM, who we sadly lost last year, and Czarface being the supergroup made up of Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang Clan plus Esoteric and 7L on production. The first collaboration record they made was in 2018, and I do remember liking that album quite a bit. I gave it a 3.5, which seems surprisingly high actually. I liked it. I remember enjoying it. I remember, which one was it? Nautical Depth for me was the standout track, but of course Bomb Throne seems to be the general favorite, and that is a great one. Has a good music video as well. And I suppose this Super What, I'm assuming it's leftovers from those sessions, or maybe follow-up sessions. I'm not too sure, but I think we can expect more of the same. The album has about the same average rating at the moment as the previous one, so I'm hoping that means we can at least expect something of similar quality at least. So, time to give this a listen, and if you enjoy it, please leave a like. So the first song is called The King and I, and is featuring DMC from Run DMC. Let's go.
You've been working on music ever since I've known you.
Like Peter Parker, I live in Queens, and like T'Challa, I am a king.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that first track. It made for a good intro. Very unexpected, fun appearance from DMC. And I really liked the switch to a darker beat towards the end. I hope there's more of that tone throughout the album.
No dope. I mean, there's no fucking dope.
No dope!
And if you idiots out there don't know what that is, I ain't gonna tell you.
That was so good. That was fantastic. I was laughing my head off at there ain't no dope in the intro. The beat was fantastic. Another amazing beat switch as well, partway through. And it was so good to hear Doom again. You know, it's obviously been a while since I think the last collaboration with Czarface was the last Doom album before he passed away. And it's just great to hear something new from him. But Esoteric also was fantastic on that track. And yeah, again, another amazing beat. So that was Mando Calrissian, which is a play on Lando from Star Wars, right? Yeah, it was another great track. A really good verse from Inspector Deck at the start, and another good one from Doom. Let's continue.
Any ideas?
Fiend picked the lock, squad, shit was a raw clothes villain. More action, triple X pornos. Boom, 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 bang, bang, bang.
Oh my god, another fucking brilliant beat in that one. And Doom's first verse on it was just perfect. Perfect. And Esoteric as well. Another great verse. Wow. Next song's called Jason and the Zargonauts, and it's featuring Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Let's go. It's another great track. Czarface and Doom Pro mask before Corona hit. No, I like that one. They let it breathe a bit more. It was a longer track and everyone got a more substantial verse, which I did like. And it was great to hear Del. I think the last time I heard him was on the last Deltron album, Deltron 2020. That was a good one. That was quite a while back now. So yeah, good to hear him again. Halfway through the album and loving it so far. This is really good stuff. The next song is called Breaking the Action.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, it's all cuts stuff.
Very nice. Another great Doom verse at the beginning of that one. Loved it. Was it Esoteric that said, sick of playing optimistic like Tom York's band? The next song's called A Name to the Face.
Czarring going on. Harlem is now Zarlem.
Yeah, that was alright. This is canon now. It had some good lines in it. Track 9 is called So Strange.
Why do I wear a mask?
Very strange, very strange, very strange.
Nice. Yeah, that was pretty nice. It had a really good MF Doom verse over a spooky beat. I guess I'm quite surprised by the quality of Doom's verses in general on this. I suppose I was going into it expecting leftovers to an extent, but it's actually really good quality stuff. Surprisingly good quality stuff, actually. So, track 10, it's the last song and it's called Young World. Not the best track to go out on, but not bad. And that's the end of the album. So I really wasn't expecting a lot from this Czarface and MF Doom follow-up album, but it really surprised me. It ended up being really strong, especially the track 2 and 3. I remember really being quite excited by the quality of those songs. It was a bit on the short side. That's the only criticism I guess you could level at this. It definitely feels a bit slight, which, you know, I suppose they worked with what they had. It didn't feel like an album that was just thrown together on a whim though. It felt like they put a lot of hard work into this. I was really quite blown away by how great some of these verses sounded over these beats. It just sounded amazing. So the highest rated track at the moment on RateYourMusic is Break In The Action, which has a 3.9. And that was a great track. But I have to say, as far as I remember now, track 2 was the one that really blew me away. And also track 4 with that dark beat. I loved that. There are some lower rated tracks towards the end, and I probably agree with that. I guess it did feel it trailed off a little bit. Few people are saying there was a Fantano sample on A Name to the Face. I must have missed that. It would have been in that moment when it was all the clips of people talking about Czarface and what it means and how to pronounce it. Well, I missed who was actually in it. I didn't recognize any voices. People are copy-pasting this one. The first of hopefully a few posthumous Doom releases. I couldn't imagine the villain himself didn't have 1 billion albums in the works at the time of his death. Maybe, although he'd been quite quiet for the last few years, but we all know he had that very prolific period, 2003, 2004. So he definitely had it in him to be producing a lot of albums. And we know he'd been working on Mad Villainy 2. Well, not Mad Villainy 2, that exists, but the follow-up to Mad Villainy with Madlib. But who knows when or if we're going to see that. So Gray8786 said, Doom's presence is meager on the album. The only verse where he seems to feel himself is on So Strange. I don't agree. I was really taken with most of Doom's verses on here. There weren't loads of them, but there was, I think most of the tracks had at least some Doom on them, and I thought he sounded great on all of them. 𝐒𝐻𝐚𝐽 said, I feel Doom sounded somewhat more animated on here than he did on other recent releases, and I definitely agree with that. I mean, Keys to the Cuffs was a bit lacking from Doom to me, and I was worried that would be the last we would hear of the Doom we know and love, but he did bring it on the last Czarface collaboration, and definitely I felt he brought it on this one. Nibiru Shiranui said, I kinda hate how now posthumous releases have been stigmatized to be entirely cash grabs due to the abuse of material by popular rappers' deaths. I rather prefer the label releasing all the unfinished takes that MF Doom left rather than not releasing them never. So we fans hear what the greatest villain was cooking before his passing. Well, I agree to an extent. I do think that it's great that we get to hear this unreleased material. I wouldn't want it all just rotting away in a vault. But yeah, at the same time, you got to understand people's reluctance to just immediately be excited for these kind of posthumous releases because, well, we've seen how badly it can go many times before. So in Diction's review, he said, Czarface Doom 2 is not something I expected to see ever happen, but it's certainly a welcome surprise. Unfortunately, this is sort of a victim of being the first posthumous Doom release. I feel it's being unfairly criticised for not having 10,000 Doom verses. While I do prefer the first album over this one, this album is a wild ride of non-stop beats and rhymes. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I really agree with Diction's review, actually. I can understand people might be disappointed because they want to just hear an album of Doom, which probably there is enough material out there for us to get that. But that's not what this is. This is a Czarface album, and we're just very lucky to have Doom having contributed to this album. And we're also very lucky that 7L made such excellent beats for Doom to appear on. Wackler said, "Run the jewels, but good." So that about wraps it up for this Czarface and Doom album. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this album, and I can read it in the follow-up video. So please like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and until the next one, take it easy.